Hello, everyone. Long time no see. I
Hello.
just finished my personal test in mental six. Yeah,
Congratulations. How did it go?
thank you. It's been an amazing time because my topic is the simply material of wisdom.
Oh, wow. We just talked about that last week. Simplicity. Okay,
uh,
great.
Today I like to join because I see the topic is about the character, right?
Yeah, it is perfect that you
Yes.
are in a good transition, right? Great transition from completing your module on materialization of wisdom. We're going to be
Yeah.
moving on to how to basically use wisdom to
Yeah.
attract people to you, okay? To become a person of
Yes.
character.
It's amazing because the topic is what exactly what I mean, what I want to improve to not improve, just I think I want to focus on character right now.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
yeah. So
Great.
so it's,
Exciting.
it's the right time. But now
Mhm.
I need to move to the another place. So I will
Okay.
turn off my mic and video and just
Okay.
listening. Thank you.
No problem. No problem. Okay. Let me get some of my pens ready here, and then we'll get started. Pretty happy, pretty grateful that you guys have stuck with me through all this time. Um, Always honored by your presence. Always appreciative of those who take the time, giving me part of your day, giving me part of your life. Okay, it is a personal realization to me. Okay, it is an awareness and perception that for every minute that you're spending with me, it is a minute of your life. You are giving me your life, so I'm very honored by it, and I'm very grateful for it. And your participation in the Zoom helped me as much, if not more, than I help you. Okay, I find that I get a lot out of sharing the material. I'm not even sure if my material has helped much of anybody, but yeah, so I'm very grateful. Okay, um, wonderful. Last week, we talked about wisdom. Do I still have the slide? Do I have the slide on wisdom? Oh, there you go. Okay. So we basically finished wisdom, okay, last week. And the materialization of wisdom is the state of simplicity and joy, state of being trustful and light. If we keep things simple, we can find joy. If we trust in people, then our burden will be light. If we trust people to carry on the burden, to share our responsibility, then our responsibility will be light. If we don't trust people, then we do everything on our own, and life can be a little complicated. It can be heavy. Okay, so a wise person materializes their wisdom through simplicity, joy, trust, and lightness. And of course, if we repeat that by doing it regularly, and we do it wholeheartedly, we're going to experience a pretty good life. Okay, and what that will start to manifest is that we will become successful. Okay, um, so great transition from wisdom to the idea of being successful. So let's well, before that, Ron, or anybody else in the Zoom, do you have any lessons, insight, or realization from the previous material, from the all the wisdom stuff that we've learned, or anything during the day that you would like to share? Okay, this is mental activation time before we jump into the new material. Anything you want to share? Any impression today? or since last week, or since the morning, since we did the exercise together. I'm gonna pour some water and then now we'll jump in.
What I like is
Yeah.
with Hua going through all this, seeing the transformation for her through going through the test and lack of sleep she's been getting because of the test. But yeah, it changes everything with her. I can see.
Do you see that she is doing it simply and joyfully?
Yes.
Do you find her doing everything trustingly and with lightness and gentleness?
Yes.
Right? Because without it, she would not be able to do all of that. And the time thing, there's only 24 hours, physical time in a day, and we simply cannot do everything if we make it complicated. So we have no choice. We have no choice but to simplify it. We have no choice but to maintain serenity, magnanimity, honoring gratitude, and joy.
Yes,
and no choice but to trust in the methodology, trust in the principles. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm proud of her for going through all this.
Okay.
Knowing what she wants and putting her mind and effort and everything into it, all her energy.
Great. Okay. So with that, thank you for the sharing, Ron. Let's jump into this idea. All right. Since we've already learned what it means to be a person of wisdom, we learned how to rotate and cycle through different levels of awareness. Right? We learn how to maintain and rotate different state of being, which is attitude. We know when to be at peace. We know when to be magnanimous and tolerant and compassionate with people. When we know when and to honor people and appreciate them. So if we do that and we repeat it regularly, and we do it wholeheartedly, at some point we are going to succeed. So let me write this word, and you're welcome to write with me. Okay, success. Okay. So when it comes to success, when you see the word success, or somebody say success, or I'm successful, or that person's successful, or I have succeeded, or that person has succeeded, or I want to succeed at something, what are some of the things that come to your mind when you think of the word success?
Success in finance, success in health, and family.
Yeah, success in finance, in health, in family. Okay, so there are different areas of life that we can become successful in, right? And now that we have learned the materialization of wisdom, let's see if we can implement wisdom and become successful. Okay, so consider the following words of wisdom. Okay, consider the following words of wisdom. It is said that, let's do this. So we're human beings, right? We are human beings. We are human beings. Okay, we're a human being. But oftentimes, we spend a lot of time and effort doing things. So we end up becoming human doing. That's a play on word. But do you get the idea? Human beings spend too much time doing things. And so consider the following words of wisdom. To be successful at doing, but not successful at being, is only temporary success. Okay? To succeed at doing, but not succeed at being, is only temporary success. Okay, so one more time. To succeed at doing, but not succeed at being, is that success is only temporary. In other words, if we have the capability, the technical skill to accomplish things, but if we lack wisdom, if we lack attitude, we lack character, lack integrity, those are ways of being, then can we truly maintain those success? Right? Look around at the people around you in the world, people who have a lot of capability, a lot of skills, a lot of talents, accomplish big things materially, okay? But if they lack wisdom, attitude, character, they could open their mouth and say something one day, and they would lose their credibility. They could make an investment and go bankrupt. And they cannot recover because they are very good at doing, but they have not mastered being. So wise people have told us that successful at doing, but not yet successful at being, is only temporary. That success is only temporary. There's another statement that says, successful at being, but not yet successful at doing, that is also temporary. Okay, so let me repeat that. Success at being, but not yet success at doing, that is also a temporary state. In other words, you can be a person of wisdom and attitude and character and integrity. That is a successful human being, just by having wisdom, attitude, and character and integrity. But you may not have the capability and the skill to accomplish anything yet. Nothing to show for yet. And that's okay, because that is temporary. To be a successful human being and not successful at doing, that is only temporary. All you need to do is cultivate the capability, the skill. All you need to do is cultivate physical vitality, your health and strength. Then with the health and the capability, eventually you will succeed. And then that success will become enduring. Okay, so being successful at being and not yet successful at doing, that's still only temporary, but that temporary state can change and become permanent once we accumulate and cultivate the more material aspect of our being, which is our capability and our physical health. Okay? And so when it comes to being successful, okay, or to succeed, we are human beings and we're human doing at the same time. Just being a good person, that's fine, but we don't really contribute any value to other people. If we just have wisdom and attitude and character, and we don't do anything, we have no skills, no physical strength, then we don't really contribute any value to society, and so people don't really call it success. If we have great capability and physiques, but we have poor character, poor wisdom, and poor attitude, people would not call that success either. So we need both, right? You agree that we need both to be both human beings and to do things. And wise people have taught us that when it comes to being, that takes up about 80% of who we are. When it comes to doing, we only need about 20% of doing in order to be successful. Okay? 80% being and 20% doing. Do you agree with that? Hello, chị Kiều Anh. Very grateful for you joining our Zoom today. Hello.
Good morning, Thầy. Have a nice
good
day.
All right. So we are talking about success. Okay. This is a transition to the materialization of wisdom. So last week we finished talking about wisdom. We finished talking about the material aspect of wisdom. Okay. And when a person has materialized wisdom, they can do things with simplicity, joy, with trust and lightness. If they can do it regularly and wholeheartedly, eventually they will succeed. And we will come to the topic of success. What does it mean to succeed? Okay. And the sages have taught us that to succeed, what we need is 80% being and 20% doing. Okay. To be has to do with wisdom, attitude, character, and integrity. And doing, that is only our physical health and our capability. Okay. So the question is, how do we know when we are successful? How do we know when we are successful? Right? Does anybody have an idea? Anybody would like to turn on the cam? The one, since you just joined, what do you think? How do you know when you have succeeded, or have you, or if you are successful? Because the wise people told us that to succeed in being and not succeed in doing, that's only temporary. Okay, to succeed in being but not in doing, it's only temporary. Eventually we will succeed in both, and that will become permanent. To succeed in doing and not succeed in being, that is also temporary. So we basically need success in being and success in doing. That will be more enduring and lasting. But how do we know when we have succeeded? What do you think? Any idea?
Teacher, and I just one opinion of my life. Yes, I think success is the way. It's not a purpose. It is not a point. And the reason why I said that, I have practical to tell this. My sister, she's a farmer, right? She had nothing, not much money, but she did very peacefully. She had this big heart, right? She has with knowledge for the world, right? She doesn't know much as me, because I learn more than her. But with my views, I see she has a successful life. She has family, she has children, right? Right. She has a peaceful heart, and she has forgiving heart. That's successful. But somebody like another one have a lot of money, but they don't feel they are successful. So with me, success is not points. Success is a ways, right, to gain. Right, it's not a point.
That's a good. That is a good. Yeah, that's a good perspective. Yeah, yeah. There's your sister. You see, your sister, right, is a person that you consider to be successful, right?
Yes.
This person you're talking about, your sister.
Yeah, my sister is a farmer. Yeah.
Okay. Does her children enjoy being close to her? Does her family like to be?
Yeah, very peaceful. My children very loyal to her. It's better than me.
Do you enjoy?
Right?
Yeah. Do you enjoy being in the presence of your sister? Do you enjoy being with your sister when you are with her?
I feel she's sometimes happier than me. right? In general,
Okay.
she's happier than me. She doesn't have money, right? Much, right?
Yeah,
She
yeah,
had everything. She had house, had family, had grandchildren, like that, very
yeah.
loyal children to her.
Yeah.
So I say she is happier than me.
Okay, so something we can definitely look forward to. Okay, somebody we can definitely look up to. Okay, we can aspire to become if that is something, some other kind of person that we want. Okay, so that's a wonderful sharing and a wonderful perspective on somebody whom we may consider successful. And in fact, if you consider the following statement, okay, the sages have given us the following idea. A successful person is someone whom others want to be close to. Okay, consider that statement. A successful person is someone whom others want to be close to.
And she
Like you once
is.
said, if somebody may have a lot of money, but if we don't want to be close to that person, we might not consider them to be very successful. On the other hand, your sister may be a farmer. She may not have a lot of money, but her children loves her, her grandchildren love her, you admire her, and now that you have just given me an image of her and I admire her, I want to be close to her. I consider your sister, who is just a farmer, to be a successful person. Because of the statement that says that a successful person is someone whom others want to be close to.
Jeez.
Kind of a powerful statement, huh? Never mind the material possession, never mind the power, never mind it, whatever. But it kind of narrowed down to this very simple statement. A successful person is someone whom others want to be close to. So if we are a parent, a successful parent is a parent whose children want to be close to. Imagine that. A successful boss, is a boss that the employee want to be close to. Would you like to be in an environment where the boss walks into the room and the employee feels happy and want to be close to them? As opposed to an environment where the boss walked in and the employee kind of find a way to hide. So which boss do you think is a more successful boss? How about we are children, right? If we have parent, a successful child or successful children are the children whose own parents want to be close to them. Oh, how about that one? Some children, their parent can't stand them. some parents want to send their children away as soon as they are 18 and legal of age. But successful children are the children whose parents want to stay close to. A successful spouse, right? A successful husband or a successful wife is a wife or a husband whose spouse want to be close to them. Pretty powerful yet simple statement. Okay? And so from this foundation of the idea that a person of success or a successful person is someone whom others want to be close to. Okay? Okay. So in the language of the inner being philosophy that we have been studying, a successful person is the person who embodies the attribute of wisdom, attitude, character, integrity, physical vitality, capability, and material abundance. In other words, a successful person in our philosophy is a person who is holistically rich, holistically wealthy, and holistically healthy. The person who has in their hand 7 candles of holistic wealth. Okay. And all it needs is wisdom, attitude. If you have wisdom, if you have attitude, you will begin to light up the candle of character. Okay. And from the candle of character, we can start to light up the candle of capability, physical vitality, integrity, and material well-being. And people will want to be close to us. Okay. So what are the signs by which we can recognize a successful person? Now, we already have the simplistic definition of a successful person is someone whom others want to be close to. But what are some signs by which we can recognize the kind of person that others want to be close to? Okay, how about this? Let's get another piece of paper. Consider what we have already learned, okay? The materialization of wisdom. Would you want to be close to a person who brings you joy? Yeah. Would you want to be close to a person who brings you joy? Yeah, definitely. Okay. Or would you want to be close to a person who exhibit joy as part of their character? Would you want to be close to a person who brings you hope? Okay. Why do you enjoy being close to a person who is very hopeful? How about a person who causes you to trust? Or a person in whom you can trust? Or even a person who trusts you? So there's something about a person who exhibits the character of trust is the kind of person that other people want to be close to. Trust. Right? We already learned about trust. We learned about belief. Belief in that which is positive is trust. Belief in that which is negative and undesirable, we don't call that trust. Okay. What about a person who point the way and help us elevate our levels of awareness and help us stand above life's problem? A person who brings us wisdom. Would you like to be close to a person who brings you wisdom? How about a person who honors your presence and is grateful for you just being you? Honoring gratitude. Right? Would you like to be close to a person who is very thankful for your very presence? Or a person who help you appreciate life? The character of honoring gratitude is a sign by which we can tell, oh, that's going to be a successful person. Okay. How about someone who loves you? And more important, someone who wants you to, who make you want to love. Right? So there's something about a person who's very loving, someone who inspires other people to be loving. That is a sign of a successful person. Okay. How about magnanimity? A person who is tolerant and compassionate, whose spirit is so great, they can hold you and behold you, forgive you, and not be attached to any wrong that you've done. Okay, you can feel totally safe, totally authentic with another person when you're with them because they are so magnanimous. They give them your time. They are generous with your time, with their time. They are generous with their spirit. Would you like to be close to that person? A person of magnanimity. How about a person of humbleness? Okay, or a more religious term is humility. A person of humbleness. When you're in the presence of a humble person, does that make you feel safe? We're pretty safe when we're in the presence of a humble person. We want to be close to them. We don't feel threatened by them. They don't judge us, right? We're not fearful of them. Yeah, we generally want to be close to people of humility and humbleness. We admire them. And what about person who bring us a sense of authenticity? Authenticity. We can be ourselves when we're in the presence of an authentic person. And that person also inspires us to be authentic. We don't have to hide behind a mask. We don't have to hide behind some identity or accomplishment. We can just be ourselves. We can speak our mind. We can express our opinion safely, authentically, simply. So, using the definition of someone whom we want to be close to, right? Would we like to be close to a person who exhibits joy, hope, trust, wisdom, honoring gratitude, love, magnanimity, humbleness, and authenticity? Well, guess what? If the person embodies these characteristics or this character, then that person can be considered someone we would want to be close to, and therefore a successful person. Like one's friend or sister, she may not have a lot of material possession, but she brings hope, she brings trust, she brings joy. People want to be close to her. She has a lot of love. Okay. So the person who embodies all these aspects are also said to be a person rich in character. They are very rich, very wealthy. They are rich in character, rich in joy, hope, trust, wisdom, rich in honoring gratitude and love, rich in magnanimity, humbleness, and authenticity. Or another way of saying that is a person of refined character. Okay, refined character. Anything that is valuable requires refinement. Even gold that we dig up from the ground. Right? When we first dig up gold in the ground, it's very dirty. It got mixed with a bunch of dirt and rocks and other things. It has to be refined. Diamond that people dig up in the mine, okay, they don't look very pretty. They have to be refined. Once they are refined, they become valuable. And so, as a human being, once we refine our character, we become a person of refined character. Then we become a person that others want to be close to. Then we can become a person of success. Right? So, if you are a person of success and you are a person that others want to be close to, people start to, be attracted to you. You become an attractor, right? You become an attractor. And what would your life be like when you are the attractor, right? In the family, in the work environment? What would your life look like if other people want to be close to you? Okay, and so we have an official definition of a refined character. Okay, and I just read it to you. You're welcome to write it, and I recommend that you write it. A definition of a person of refined character. A person of refined character, also known as a person rich in character, is someone who has fully accumulated all the states of emotions, states of awareness within the inner being. Okay, so I'll repeat that part if you want to write it down. A person of refined character, also known as a person rich in character, is someone who has fully accumulated all the states of emotion, states of awareness within their inner being. Remember we talked about state of emotion? There are 3 rich states of emotion that we want to focus on. Never mind all the negative, never mind the 84,000 bubbles of illusion. Those don't help. We only need to focus on 3 states of being: serenity, magnanimity, honor, and gratitude. 3 states of emotion. And 3 states of awareness. Awareness level 1, wisdom level 1. Awareness level 2, wisdom level 2. Awareness level 3, wisdom level 3. All right. Wisdom level 1 has to do with picking and choosing the positive out of the negative. To choose to see the positive in the negative situation, see the good in people, to pick the right from the wrong. Wisdom level 2, create positive mental images. Take responsibility for our own life. The root cause of life begins with me. And wisdom level 3 is a state of serenity derived from true emptiness. Right? The essence of all things are empty. I am no one, and therefore I can be anyone. And so once again, the person rich in character or a person of refined character is someone who has accumulated all the states of emotions and state of awareness within the inner being. That's internal stuff. Expressed outwardly as joy, hope, trust, wisdom, honoring gratitude, love, magnanimity, humbleness, and authenticity. It is the internal stuff expressed outwardly as joy, hope, trust, wisdom, honoring gratitude, love, magnanimity, humbleness, and authenticity toward themselves and toward their social relationship. Okay, you want to write that part down as well. Okay, a person of refined character or a person of rich character is a person who has accumulated all the states of emotion, state of awareness within their inner being, expressed outwardly as joy, hope, trust, wisdom, honoring gratitude, love, magnanimity, humbleness, and authenticity with themselves, toward themselves, and toward other people. Okay? Because we're not consistent within ourselves, it's going to be hard to manifest it to other people. They will see that as inauthentic. If a person tried to smile and express joy to other people, but inside they still got issues, it's going to show. Okay, it's not going to be authentic. We cannot inspire hope in others if we do not inspire hope in ourselves. We cannot inspire trust in other people if we do not trust ourselves. Okay, we cannot appreciate others until we truly appreciate and recognize our own importance. Okay, we cannot love until we love ourselves. And basically, a person of refined character has accumulated all the appropriate inner state, all the appropriate emotion with respect to themselves and respect to their social relationship. And that is the official definition of a person of refined character. And so, so when you consider, and if a person exhibit all of these character, and is a person who can attract other people, that other people want to be close to, what's going to start to happen is this. Something wonderful start to happen when you embody a refined character. Okay, as an individual, by the way, to be of refined character is something that other people can judge, right? People can say, oh, this person is a person of a refined character. This person is successful. This person is a person of rich character. Yeah, those are the things that other people will label, people would say to us. We don't go and say, oh, I'm a person of refined character. That's just weird. Okay, we do not label ourselves as a person with refined character. What we say is, I'm refining my character. I'm working on refining my character. But we never say I'm a person of refined character. That's just arrogant. That is missing humbleness. That's missing authenticity. So you can always say, I'm working on refining my character. Anybody criticizes, oh, you've done something wrong, they can, okay, thank you for your, for your contribution. I am refining my character. I'm working on refining my character, and that's acceptable, okay? And as we work on refining our character, or as we are refining our character, at some point, we become the kind of person that other people want to be close to, okay? And so we become this one person of refined character. And what happened when we are a person of refined character is then we start to attract other people. Other people want to be close to us, right? So what happened? We start to attract another person. And if we are a, thank you so much. Yeah, we are working on refining character. And as we attract another person, and they look at us and they say, oh, wow, this person is a person of refined character. This person is rich in character. That inspires them to wanting to refine their character. When we inspire other people to refine their character, now we get two people of refined character. Oh, now we have two people of refined character, and two people of refined character can begin to attract more people. And we may get a third person of refined character, or a person who wants to work on refining their character. So what we get here is really something really powerful. One person, ourselves, is just a point. Can't do much with a point. But if we can attract another person, what we get is a segment. It starts to have a visual, something that people can see. And if two people can attract a third person, what we have created is a surface upon which other people can stand on. Two people is like a rope, and other people have to stand on a tightrope. That's not very, very stable. But with three people of refined character, we create a surface, kind of like a surface of a table. And then other people can stand on this surface. What we have just done, when we have three people of refined character, or at least three people who are working on refining their character, is we have created a good environment. Okay? A good environment is an environment of success. A good environment is an environment where the people themselves exhibit joy, hope, trust, wisdom, honoring gratitude, love, magnanimity, humbleness, and authenticity. A good wisdom is a good environment is an environment whereby people want to experience joy, hope, trust, wisdom, honoring gratitude, love, magnanimity, humbleness, and authenticity. Okay? And so all of that is characteristic of a good environment. Right? A successful environment. So imagine in a family environment, if one spouse plus two spouses empower their children to be people of refined character. That is a good family environment. If you're in a work environment and a boss and a supervisor can inspire the employee to refine their character, then that is a good work environment. Okay? In a school, in a Zoom, how about this one? Okay, we're in an educational environment. Have you experienced joy, hope, trust when you started studying and interacting with the people of this philosophy? Have you felt your wisdom expanded? Have you felt honored and grateful? Do you feel loved by the teachers and the mentors? Do you feel a sense of magnanimity? Right? We raise our hand, we speak out, and nobody judges us. Do you find that the teachers themselves are humble and they inspire humility within us, and they're authentic? Right? Would you agree that this very Zoom, right? Ron, Miss Lei Yung, Chị Kiều Oanh, okay, those of you who are on the camera, would you agree that the people in this very Zoom, okay, even though we don't have a lot of people, do you think that we have enough people to create an environment? Just 3 people. Right? Well, so 3 people in, right now we have Ron, we have Lei Yung, and Kiều Oanh. Do you think that 3 of you is enough to create a surface upon which other people can stand and experience joy, hope, trust, wisdom, honor, and gratitude, love, magnanimity, humbleness, and authenticity? Okay, let's get some feedback before we move on. What do you think so far?
Well, I'm still refining my character, so I will be able to, yes, have a refined character at some point through knowledge of wit and as I'm learning. The more knowledge I get, the more I can be refined.
Yeah. What about you, Ji Yung? What do you think? Do you think that those of us in this Zoom is enough to create a good environment whereby we can attract other people, that other people want to be close to us? Do we have enough confidence in ourselves? Do we have enough joy and hope and trust in ourselves and in each other to be able to build an environment that is, successful as well? Yeah. Okay. Let's like. Oh, okay. That's fine. Okay, it's noisy over there where you are, so you can't speak. That's okay. Okay, but you can type. But right. So here's the thing: character. With the house. Watch. Character. Do you notice that character sits next to the relationship pillar in a house of holistic health? Okay, or a house of holistic wealth. We have the foundation of our inner being, which is wisdom and attitude and character. And character sits right here. When we have refined character, what we're doing is we're building this wall. We're building this pillar of relationship. Because we're people of success, we are people that other people want to be close to. What that does is that increase our affinity with other people. In the language of the human construct, affinity with other people, so our relationship expand. Our relationship with other people gets better. Okay, and to put that in a reality triangle. Okay, remember the reality triangle. There's a causality. This is a law of causality, right? A cause and effect. Cause, outcome, and in between are the condition. Okay. If we are a person of wisdom, we already learned about wisdom. Okay. If we have wisdom, if we're able to rotate among different levels of awareness when appropriate, if we are able to cycle through different attitude, wisdom and attitude, right? When we have wisdom, it will generate the attitude, okay? And with the wisdom attitude, the material manifestation is character. Okay, see how everything in the universe has a physical manifestation, the material manifestation. It came from an energetic component, right? We review that. So this is a material. This is an energy, like lead and gold. Lead and gold has a certain material manifestation. The energy vibration gives that material manifestation. In order to have that energy vibration, it has an information component, the basic structure of it. So that is a triangle of reality, of causality, of character. If we want to manifest materially as a person of refined character, we're going to need good attitude and we're going to need appropriate wisdom. And we already have all of that. Okay? That is one way to help us understand where character comes from a reality triangle perspective, from the common sense moral philosophy perspective. Okay? So, yeah. So if we can rotate among different levels of awareness and wisdom, we will be able to adopt appropriate attitude. And when we have awareness and attitude and we appropriately cycle through, then that will manifest itself in this 9 character traits called joy, hope, trust, wisdom, honor, and gratitude, love, magnanimity, humbleness, and authenticity. That is something that other people will be able to sense. Okay, it is a physical or material manifestation of wisdom and attitude. Okay. So whenever we have, since the character sits next to the wall of relationship, it is a good sort of anchor or test. So whenever we experience problems with relationship, when we have a problem with somebody, anybody, it could be our spouse, could be our children, could be our co-worker. If we have a problem with our relationship with anybody, then all we got to do is ask the question, does this person want to be close to me? And if not, what's going on with my character? That's it. Right? If we have a problem with anybody, we simply ask, okay, does this person want to be close to me? And if not, what's going on with my character? What can I do with my character in terms of joy, hope, trust, wisdom, honor, and gratitude, love, magnanimity, humbleness, and authenticity? What can I do in terms of these 9 traits that will cause other people to want to be close to me? Once we have checked off all the tick boxes, then we have lit up the candle of character, then we have essentially guaranteed a positive affinity with that other person. Does that make sense? Right? When we have a problem with another person, okay, do I bring joy to this person? Do I give this person hope? Do I trust them? On my level of awareness, appropriate wisdom, do I honor and am I grateful for the person? Do I love them enough? Am I tolerant and compassionate? Am I magnanimous? Am I humble? Am I authentic with this other person? And if you can, check off all the boxes, all the yes, then yeah, this person is going to want to be close to you, and that person is going to be in a good affinity with you. Okay. And so of these character, we already talked a little bit about joy already, right? Joy has two sources. Joy comes from pleasure and joy comes from serenity. We did not talk about hope. We will talk about that at some point. Last week, we talked about trust. We spent a lot of time on wisdom. We know honoring gratitude. At love, at some point, I think we talked about love already, right? We can go back later. We already know magnanimity. Today, let's talk a little bit about humbleness, and in the next week, maybe authenticity. Okay? Would you like to know a little bit about humbleness? Any impression so far before I move on to the specific character of humbleness? Any question or any insight? Okay, all right. So let's see. We can...
I had one say, like, to refine your character, you have to refine your own character, not like some lives are controlled by something else that are refining your character for you.
Yeah. So that is a principle of transformation. Remember that first day we talked about the little person inside the egg, right? And in order to transform, we need to make an effort on our own, and not, at least out of love for ourselves and love for other people around us, to initiate that transformation, initiate that refinement process proactively, refine ourselves, and not sit around and wait for external circumstances or negative outcome to teach us a lesson. Because if we do, then fine, we'll change, but the price we pay is pain and suffering and losses. And so a wise person will preempt that, right? And wise person, instead of sitting around and letting negative circumstances or negative people or pain and suffering teach them a lesson, a wise person will proactively study and learn and cultivate and initiate change from within, so that their life can be smooth sailing. Yeah, that's wisdom. Right? The opposite is sit around and let undesirable circumstances be our teacher. That's fine. It's just that we get to pay the price of pain and suffering. Okay, and we don't really care to do that.
Otherwise, you're not refining your own character. You're refining.
well, yeah. If you let external circumstances, if you let other people force you to change, then essentially we're cracking the egg from the outside in. We're letting societal pressure crack the egg from the outside in. And you know what happened during breakfast when we crack the egg from the outside in, right? We become food for society. We are serving somebody else's purpose. If we're at a work environment and we wait for the boss to criticize us and try to change us, then essentially we change for the purpose of the boss, whatever his end. But if we can proactively initiate the change and the transformation within ourselves, become a person of refined character, attract other people, then we can become successful. And even the boss will be attracted to us. Okay? That is transformation, as it is meant to be according to the principle of transformation. That is the little baby chicken becoming little chick becoming a chicken. That is the little larva becoming a butterfly. Okay, great point, wonderful point. Okay, thank you for bringing back the lesson from day one. You are beginning to tie everything in, and I really see Ron's mind just taking mold, and it's just like all the neurons are connecting. Yeah, Ron's mind is really being opened on a exponential rate. Okay, so with that, let's talk about the let's draw this picture. We're going to talk about humility. Okay, so the character of humility. Let's write the word humility or humbleness. Let's use humbleness. Humbleness. Okay, and we're going to be drawing something like this. Okay. We're going to be drawing some rice stock. Since this philosophy came from Vietnam, Now we're going to use some Vietnamese symbols. Okay, I have a rice stalk. And as the rice grow and ripen, they take on green. Oh, that's kind of hard to see. So let's go back to purple. I mean orange. Okay. So the rice stalk, start to take on green, right? It gets heavy and it droops down. Okay, it droops down. When it's young, it's green. It doesn't droop as much, but when it get ripe, it take on the green and it start to droop down. And so there are several scenario. There's several scenario. Let me draw some soil around the rice stalk. Okay, there's a rice stalk in a rice field. So there's a couple of scenario. When a person or when a rice stalk is young and it's growing, it grows kind of straight. Okay, it's very light, it grows very straight. As it ripens, it will start to bear fruit, right? In terms of the grain, it'll bear the grain, and it gets heavy, it starts to bow down. If the rice stalk is still young, but it already bowed down, what happened? If the rice stalk is still young and it does not bear fruit yet it's already drooping, that means the rice stalk is sick. Okay, it's sick, it's dying. And so what does the farmer do? The farmer will rip it off and throw it away. Or they'll step on it. Okay. If the rice stalk is come of age, when it's time to harvest, and instead of drooping down with a lot of fruit, it still sticks up. Okay, in terms of rice farming, by the time you harvest, if the rice stalk still stick up, usually that means that rice stalk has not borne any fruit. It does not have any seed, the grain. All it got is leaf. That's why it's very light. It sticks way up. And so they'll just chop it off and they'll throw it away. And so it is a symbolism for us to appropriately embrace humbleness and humility at the right time. While we are growing, while we are still young, before we are bearing fruit, it is a good idea to raise up, stick up, to express ourselves. In fact, if we maintain false humility, if we hide, if we're inferior, then what's going to happen is that the farmer will think that we are sick and unworthy and they will just get rid of us. Similarly, in a real world environment, in a classroom or at a job environment, when we are new and we don't try to express ourselves, if we don't try to prove ourselves, if we don't try to prove our worth, and all we do is hide, then people would think that we're worthless. Because if they think we are worthless, they would not invest time and energy in developing us. So humbleness here is not about bowing down all the time. It is about bowing down when you already bear fruit and raising up when you are still trying to achieve. Okay? When you're trying to achieve, when you're new in an environment, in an organization, in a job, in a classroom, if we bow down, if we hide behind, for example, in the Zoom, if we hide behind the camera, if we never raise our hand, then nobody will notice us. They will completely overlook us. They may not think that we're interested, and therefore they will not invest time and effort in helping us grow. They will not cultivate us. They will not try to fertilize that plant. But if a farmer sees that this plant is growing, it's young, it's still growing strong, then yeah, oh, okay, we are going to invest in conditioning and cultivating this plant so that it will bear fruit. So in a work environment, when you are new, do try to express yourself. Do take on responsibility. Do try to be noticed. Let the upper management know that you are a valuable member of the team. When you're joining the mentor program, right? Mentor 6 has over 1,000 people. Mentor 7 is going to be like 3,000 people. if you bow down too early, nobody's going to notice you. And if they don't notice you, they will not take the time to invest in your own growth and development. So with wisdom, you want to try to express yourself, right? You've already done that, all of you in the Zoom have already done that. Jung, you raise your hand. Ron, you shared with me many times. But it is advisable that when you join the even bigger rice field, just go ahead and express yourself. Okay, be noticed. Be noticed. Let other people notice that you're trying to express yourself, and find ways to show your worth, your value, your contribution. Take on responsibility. And when you do that, the farmers, right, the masters, the mentors of the program, they will cultivate you. They will notice, okay, this person wants to grow. This person wants to bear fruit. And so they will condition you, they will cultivate you and help you get to where you want. Of course, when you do bear fruit, okay, don't stick up too much. Most of us here are probably not in a position in terms of, in relation to the WIT organization to have to try to be too humble, okay, because we're pretty new. But at some point, when you have already bore fruit, when we have, let's say, material wealth already, where we have a certain degree of power and influence, we do want to bow down. Because if we keep on sticking up, okay, it's going to offend other people. In the language of the human construct, there is a human nature. There is a human nature called pride. Okay? On the positive end of the spectrum, it is confidence. On the negative end of the spectrum, let's use purple. It is inferiority. Okay. Interestingly enough, arrogance is a negative form of pride. It has to do with our pride, interestingly enough, has to do with desire and imagination for our nature of identity, our ego, our sense of self. When our pride or our sense of identity is satisfied, we become confident. When our sense of identity is diminished, is not enough, we feel a little inferior. However, people who are arrogant, it's actually very inferior. They feel that sense of, I don't have enough recognition, that they have to show off. They have to show up and show off. So arrogance is an extreme form of inferiority, even though it may look like confidence. Okay? Humility is actually a form of confidence. So humility or humbleness, okay, humbleness is that right stock being full. That right stock has borne fruit. It has enough confidence that it allow itself to lower and bow down. Its sense of identity is already full. It doesn't need to stick up anymore. Do you get it? And here's the thing. When a person is arrogant, when we are arrogant, what happens is that we also threaten another person's sense of identity. When we are arrogant, we are superior. We make other people feel inferior. We cause other people to go negative. When we cause other people to go negative, guess what? Our affinity with other person goes negative. And therefore, we lose the relationship with another person. But if we are humble, humility, yes, we are confident. We know that we have borne fruit, but we don't need to show off. We bow down. We allow other people to grow. What that does is that we help another person satisfy their desire and imagination for their sense of identity. We help other people become confident. We help other people go positive. Then our affinity with other person goes positive. You see the benefit and the power of humbleness with respect to the idea of the right stock. So let me just write down. This is a right stock. Okay. Okay. So a person of true humbleness with wisdom. Okay. Before we didn't learn wisdom, we could be humble at the wrong time and diminish our chance of growth. But here we already have wisdom, right? Wisdom level 1, level 2, and 3. We know when to do right. We know when to rise up and when to bow down. Okay. So humbleness with wisdom is to raise up at right time and bow down when appropriate. We bow down in order to uplift other people. We bow down in order to help other people raise their level of confidence. All right? We increase their energy, their spiritual energy, their inner state, their vibrational energy, make them go positive. And when we help other people go positive, from the reference of the human construct, we deposit a positive seed in our positive account, our positive affinity account with other people. Right? Those spiritual blessing. Okay, we increase our fortune, our good fortune with other people. Okay, so rising up or raising up or sticking up at the right time, especially when we're young and when we're new, letting other people notice us, and bowing down when we have bore fruit. Okay. Okay. Any impression about this so far? Would you like to share some insight?
Like wisdom level 1, where you are listening to somebody talking about somebody negative, and you humble yourself not to get involved with that conversation. You know, it's not right. Yeah. That's the way I see it.
Well, that's not so much about that. That's not so much humbleness. That's just being detached. Okay, that's part of magnanimity. You know, we're just okay. We just or part of serenity. We just know that we're hearing. We know what we're saying. We don't need to judge it right or wrong. We're not attached to being right or wrong. We just give other people a chance to express themselves.
Yeah.
That will lend itself to a certain character of authenticity. and magnanimity. Yeah, people can be safe expressing their wisdom, their their opinion with us when we just allow them to say it. Okay, but here with humility, it has to do with knowing when to stick up and when to bow down. Okay, sticking up in order to be noticed. That's the only way our life will get better, through other people's help. But bowing down when we have already borne fruit, so that we don't hurt our affinity with other people. Right? Nobody likes an arrogant person, right? Yeah. Okay, so that is one. So humbleness comes with this philosophy called the philosophy of the right stock. Okay, there's a second one. There's a second part to it. Okay, let's draw this one. Let's use different color. Let's use orange. Okay, let's use orange. Draw this one with me. That's a thumb. And if all of us have ever been on any social media, that's a like symbol, right? When you watch a movie clip, when you hear a comment or read a comment and we like it, we give them a thumbs up. Okay? A thumbs up. That thumbs up is, let's use different color. Let's use red. That is the thumb of acknowledge, acknowledgement, and gratitude. So when we view a video clip, or we read a post by somebody, or see an image, and we give a thumbs up, we're essentially acknowledging another person's achievement. We say, hey, good job. Not only that, we're essentially adopting the mentality that other people are better than us. Okay, a person of humbleness adopts the mentality that other people are smarter, are wiser, are more capable. Okay, and when we acknowledge another person and we show our appreciation and gratitude for other people, well, guess what? That will also enhances our affinity with other person. It makes the other person want to be close to us, right? Would you like people who praise you? Yeah, we do. Right? So people like to be recognized. So acknowledgement and gratitude is an internal state that we acknowledge that another person is smarter, wiser, more capable, better than us. And then we publicly recognize. Okay? So we can add that. We want to publicly recognize them. Public recognition. Recognize. By publicly recognizing another person, what that does is that we affirm a positive image of another person. We inspire and empower them to become better. So there's just, a real life example. Our Master Thorn, has a bunch of kids. And as like many kids, a lot of them don't like to eat vegetable, right? We all know that eating vegetable is healthy for you. But when his children were little, they didn't like to eat vegetable. And so he keep on encouraging them to eat vegetable. And one day, one of the child just licked the vegetable. He just licked the vegetable. And Master Thorn himself, he said, wow, this is a sign of a future talent asset. Because he has just exhibit the element of a talent asset. one of the required element of a talent assets is the courage to change, and he has the courage to lick the vegetable. And guess what? That child feels the positive acknowledgement. Not only that he feels the positive acknowledgement, he was publicly recognized for the courage to lick the vegetable. And the next day, he managed to eat one piece of vegetable. And Master Tuan acknowledged him and recognized him again. Wow, so he's definitely going to be a talent asset. He's going to be a wonderful contributor. He's going to take on great responsibility because he has just exhibit the element of a talent asset, one of the requirement of a talent asset. So it's going to be a great contributor to society. After a while, the child eats vegetable. It is acknowledgement and gratitude, right? Saying it with the true gratitude, right? Holding and beholding, which is magnanimity, right? Holding and beholding a positive image of another person. Instead of criticizing a child for not eating vegetable, instead of pressuring them, you just encourage them and you acknowledge them, even when it's just a tiny little accomplishment. And that is how you build character of another person. So imagine a boss who acknowledges and is grateful for his employee for even the smallest contribution. Can you imagine that with that kind of acknowledgement, with the energy of gratitude, you can develop a positive character of another person? By being positive, by being grateful and acknowledging and publicly recognizing another person, we will encourage other people to do the right thing more often. And what that comes is a genuine humbleness. It is a genuine and authentic mentality or mentality or mindset that another person is better than me. Okay? Just because they are licked a vegetable, that means, wow, they have the courage to change. The courage to change, to do something that they don't like. And in that moment, when we authentically recognize another person for something that we genuinely consider to be better than ourselves, then we have expressed the character of humbleness. Okay? And this is called the philosophy of stupidity. Okay? Does that mean we're stupid? Stupid. But it is, yeah, we're stupid. When it comes to another person's achievement. And when other people, and when we recognize other people and we acknowledge them and we praise them genuinely from the mindset that they are better than us, then they will sense that as authentic praises and they will want to be close to us. And after a while, they would, oh, we are a person of character, of refined character. It is simply a philosophy of stupidity. We're not stupid, but yeah, we really are stupid when it comes to humbleness. Yeah, we can afford to be stupid. If we enrich our wisdom, if we enrich our attitude, if we enrich our character, we are so rich we can afford to be stupid. We are so rich we can afford to be stupid, and that will only make us richer. You get that? Kind of fun. Okay. Kind of fun, okay?
If you become somebody.
Huh?
Become somebody, then you're stupid again.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. And when you do that, we can always learn something. That too, right? When we acknowledge other person for being something better than us, then we empower them to be talent asset. We inspire them to teach us something. We can actually learn something new. And by learning, by embracing the mentality of stupidity, that I can always learn something and other people can always teach you something, then your circle of knowledge will expand. Okay? So, and another one that the wise people have given us is the idea called achievement let me think. I'm trying to find a good translation. I haven't settled on a good translation. I'm going to say my achievement due to others. Okay. This is another mentality that a person of humbleness will embrace. Okay. My achievements are due to others. Everything. Okay. If I have the knowledge that I do now, it is because somebody has taught to me. If I have the financial success that I have now, it is because the customers, the employers, all the people who have contributed in bringing me the financial success. If I have a successful marriage that I have now, it is thanks to my spouse. Okay. So when we take a moment and we go back to the attitude of honoring gratitude and recognize the importance of people and the significance of people and the usefulness of all things, then we realize that everything we have, everything we are, came about as a result of countless people and things in the chain of causality that has come to giving us what we have today. Even if we have come to a certain material success through great amount of effort, we work hard for years and years and years. We tried and we failed and we persevered and all that stuff. We often make the mistake of taking credit for ourselves. We take for granted all the little things and all the many people who contributed in every single step. There is not a single accomplishment in our life that has not been contributed by some people, no matter how big or small. Even if we're alive today, it is thanks to our parents who have chosen to let us live, brought us into this world and let us live. So we can be grateful to our parents, right? Our job, our work, all of our successes, all of my achievement is due to others. And I am honored by their contribution and I'm grateful for them. And this mentality or this mindset is considered a rule of living. Okay, in this philosophy, we have rules. Rules are meant to protect us, just like the rules of traffic. Okay, when we get into the car and we go into the traffic, we follow the rule of right-hand driving or left-hand driving. Why? So that we don't get into an accident, so that we can maintain safety, so we can get from point A to point B without hurting ourselves and hurting our people. This mentality of my achievement is due to others is a rule that is built upon the law of causality, meant to protect our spiritual fortune, meant to protect us from arrogance. Okay, so my achievements are all due to others. Okay. And then what happened when we help other people? So if my achievement is to do to other people, what happened when other people achieve? Let's say we help somebody, right? Let's say I'm doing this Zoom and one day Ron gonna be a master, okay? And he's going to be very successful. Can I say, oh, yeah, that's Ron, that thanks to me? No, that doesn't work either. No, that doesn't work either. So there's a second rule. The second rule say that the rain falls on all the trees, and the trees with the deepest root will soak up the most water and grow the best. I happen to be alone. If I wasn't alone, somebody else would have helped Ron And that person might have even done a better job than I did. That's the second rule when it comes to achievement due to others and humbleness. That is also the second rule to protect us, right? So the first rule is when we achieve ourselves, we credit other people. Second rule is when the person that we help, if they achieve, we credit to them, or we credit their causality. It is their total causal outcome that they reap that success. They have been accumulating and cultivating, whatever it is that they've been doing, and they have borne fruit as a result of their total causality. I just happen to be an affinity that comes along at the right moment and the right time. But if other people were along, then they might have done a better job. The rain falls on all the trees, but the tree with the deepest root will soak up the most water and grow the most. So if your spouse say, "Oh, I'm very grateful for you. I don't know what my life would have been like if I didn't marry you," and you could simply say, "Your life might have been better." There might have been a better spouse. You just happen to be stuck with me. Right? Yeah, those are rules of living. Okay, we call them rules of living. Okay. That stem from achievement due to others. Achievement due to others. Okay. Let's see, what else do I have? You guys get the second part, right? The second part where the rain falls on all the trees. Okay. And so, if we are a person of humbleness, right? If we can embrace the philosophy of the right stock, that's an L right there, STALK, right stock. If we can embrace the philosophy of the right stock, if we can embrace the philosophy of stupidity, if we embrace the mentality or the rules that achievement are due to others, then other people will want to be close to us. Okay? And we become an attractive. We become an affinity. Okay? And if my achievement is thanks to other people's contribution, okay? If I'm humble and I recognize that my achievement is a result of other people's contributions, then we will attract other people. And the kind of people we want to attract, we want to start to pay attention to. In fact, we will be attracting some very valuable people. We will attract the kind of person if we are humble, right? If we are humble and we exhibit humbleness and we acknowledge other people for their contribution, then some of those people will come along and point the way for us to rise above life's problem. Okay? Those are the people we call the sages. If we are humble and we recognize that what we achieve today is an outcome of other people's contribution and other people's help, then people will come to us and they will help us. The people who help us are called benefactors. Okay? Benefactors help us. Let's do it the other way. let's put the verb on the right side. Because from the Vietnamese sharing. Yeah, that's okay. Let's just leave it that way. It's okay. We'll just do it that way. Yeah. Save a piece of paper. The sages point the way, benefactor help us. And then if we are humble and we recognize and maintain the mentality that our achievements are due to others, okay, and we honor other people, we are grateful for them, we acknowledge them, and then we recognize that the value that we have in this life came about as a result of somebody connecting us to that value. So when we get a bunch of people called value connectors, these are special people who seem to have within their network of social relationship things and people of value, and they just love to share and connect other people with things of value. Okay, and so if we are humble, we will attract value connectors into our life. If we are humble and we recognize that the fortune that we have today was brought by other people, not of our own effort, then what we will attract into our lives are people called spirits of fortune. Spirit of fortune. Spirit of fortune are people whose presence bring us good fortune. Some of them may or may not directly enable or empower us. Some of them, they're just there. And because they are there, they attract good fortune into our lives. It could be material fortune, financial fortune. It could be health fortune. It could be relationship fortune. Okay. I consider my son a spirit of fortune. By no effort of his own, my finance, my health, my relationship, and my inner being had gotten better. Okay. Spirit of fortune are people who directly or indirectly enable us or empower us. If we are humble and we appreciate other people, right, and we acknowledge them for their contribution, what happened is that we will start to attract people willing to take up responsibility, and we call those talent assets. What do talent assets do? They take responsibility. Ability. Okay? They share our burden. If we don't recognize other people as talent asset, we get to do everything on our own. Have you ever heard of the phrase, if you want to do things right, get it done yourself? Anybody hear that phrase? If you want it done right, do it yourself. Great. Fine, you can do it yourself. You'll be by yourself. You'll be right and you'll be by yourself. Congratulations. You get to be living a life being right by yourself. But if we can acknowledge other people for their contribution, and we realize that any achievement that I want to accomplish is going to be done by other people, then we can attract talent asset into our organization, our environment. This is how we accomplish great things. Otherwise, we can be right and by ourselves. If we are humble and we allow people who are smarter, wiser than us to guide us, we will attract enlightened masters. Okay? Enlightened masters, they guide us on our journey. They have a certain mission. They allow us to become their talent asset. Okay? They take us under their wing, essentially. And of course, if we are humble and we recognize that there are people out there who will give us moral principle and teach us, we will attract mentors into our life. Okay? They give us principles. Have we not been talking about principles and laws all this time? That's what the mentors of the WIT is about. You give people principles, moral principles, principles of life. Okay? And of course, if we are humble and we recognize that our achievement is not due to us, but through other people, then when we have problems, we can attract experts to simplify our problem for us and solve our problems. What they do, they give us the mentality, okay? They give us the right mentality to simplify things. Have we not learned how to simplify all of life's problem into just 4 areas? 4 areas. Before we discover the philosophy, we think life could become complicated. But some expert, especially expert in the field of inner being, have shown us that there's only 4 problems to deal with. Problem of our inner being, problem of our health, problem of our relationship, and problem of our finance. If we can bring light into those 4 areas of life, then we have rise above all life's problems. No longer have any problem. It is an expert in the philosophy of inner being that have taught us that mentality to simplify life's problem. And finally, if we are humble, we will keep our mind open. Okay? Or we allow somebody to open our mind, and those are we call virtuous companion. Okay, virtuous companion. We haven't found a good word for thiện tri thức, but for now we'll just use that word. So through the character of humbleness, you see all this benefit. Wonderful, wonderful benefit. We become the affinity. We become the positive affinity that attract all of these wonderful people. These are called the 9 archetypes of people that we want to recognize, know who they are, attract, treat, and become. Ooh, imagine what life would be like if whenever we need somebody to point the way, we have the sage within our circle. Imagine what life would be like whenever we need any help. They're a benefactor in our phone book. When we need some things of value, we can pull up a value connector in our contact list. Right? Imagine what life would be like, where even without asking for it, good things just come because somebody like Spirit of Fortune is in our presence. What would our work be like What would our family be like if there are talent assets who take up responsibility to help alleviate some of our burden? Imagine how far we can go if we have enlightened masters to guide us, mentors to give us moral principles of life, experts to simplify our problem, and virtuous companion to open our minds. And once that happened, imagine what life would be like if we are the person who point the way for our children, who point the way for our co-worker, our employees. If we are the benefactors to other people, we are the value connector to other people. We are the spirit of fortune that inspire and empower other people, or our presence simply bring good fortune to other people. What would our life and the other people's life be like when we are talent assets who take up responsibility of enlightened masters, carry on their mission? Right? What would the world be like when we are expert, especially expert in the philosophy of root education, of expert in mastering the 4 aspects of life: our inner being, our health, our relationship, our finance. Expert in wisdom, attitude, and character. Expert in physical vitality, integrity, and capability. What would our life and the world be like when we are the 9 archetypes of people all in one? What do you guys think? What would that world be like if we are the 9 types? So, by being a person of refined character, we are a person that other people want to be close to. We are a great attractor. We are in an environment of success. Okay, and we can definitely change the world. We can definitely change the world, and all we need is wisdom, attitude, and joy, hope, trust, honoring, gratitude, love, magnanimity, humbleness, and authenticity. See how simple it is to change the world? Yeah, pretty simple. Okay. So with the benefit, another benefit of being a person of character, especially the character of humbleness, is that if imagine if arrogance is the darkness. Okay, if arrogance is the darkness, then humility or humbleness is the light that drives away the darkness. Okay, from a spiritual perspective, humility protects our spiritual energy, maintain our positive fortune, make sure that we maintain positive affinity with other people, ensure that we attract positive circumstances into our life. Okay, and humbleness help other people grow. If we are 9 type of people, then we can attract other people and we can help them grow, help them mature, help them transform. We protect our own spiritual fortune and we protect their spiritual fortune. And remember that with humbleness, before we have bore any fruit, before we are rich, we want to stick up, okay? Let people notice. What I've been trying to do, I consider myself as a young bright star. What I've been trying to do is I've been promoting and uptelling the English version of the philosophy and understanding on humanity, right? Understanding humanity in order to master human life and experience. Master Tuan has shared a 21-day course on understanding humanity, right? Understanding human being, understanding other people. It speaks a lot about being a 9 type of person, 9 type of people, talked a lot about being a good environment. And as a young right stock, what I've been trying to do is I've been doing that in English, right? So I've summarized the Vietnamese teaching into an English version, and I titled it, Who Are We? Who are we? Understanding humanity in order to master human life and experience. That's me trying to be a talent asset, trying to make contribution to this little world. And hopefully that will bring some value to other people. And if you guys take some time to read it, hopefully you can help me spread the value to other people, be the attractor for other people, okay? Be the benefactor, be the sage for other people, especially in the English-speaking world, okay? Be the enlightened master, be the mentor, the expert, be the virtuous companion to other people. So to refine our character and become a person of refined character, we simply need to embrace the mindset that our achievement is due to others. We need to adopt the philosophy of the right stock, raise up when at the right moment in time and bow down when it's appropriate. We embrace the philosophy of stupidity, meaning other people is better than us. Whenever they do anything, yay, great. Acknowledge, gratitude, and recognize them publicly. Okay, the philosophy of stupidity and philosophy of right stock, along with achievement due to others. And along with achievement due to others has 2 components. One component is that my achievement is due to others, and other people's achievement is their own or their total causality. They were meant to experience that success. And that's it. That's kind of fun, right? Did you enjoy that one? I kind of enjoyed that one. I think I have begun. Sorry for acknowledging myself, but I think I've begun to express the character of joy. I don't know if anybody noticed that, but I do get to acknowledge myself for enjoying the sharing, especially today. You know, I think I'm enjoying it, so I find joy in doing this, and I'm very grateful for the opportunity to do it. And I'm grateful for you guys to take the time to join the Zoom. Okay.
They
So
say
let's do some sharing.
having fun.
Yeah.
This past 2 hours went by very fast. For me,
Yeah.
it was quite enjoyable to listen to, and I've had quite a few value connectors in the past year. My wife, Frankie, you have been a very good value connector for me, and a sage. Yeah, I've really enjoyed this last year with studying with you, and yeah, I'm looking forward to WIT 7, KO7.
Do you see this picture, Ron?
Yes.
Do you see you know, Ron, Chị Hoa, Frank, or Chị Hoa, Ron, and Chị Lê Dung?
Yeah.
Do you think us English speakers are now a surface upon which other people can stand and transform and be, to become holistically wealthy and healthy?
Yes. And for me,
Yeah,
everybody who shares is also a value connector to me.
of course. Of course.
We're always
Okay.
learning with other people sharing. It helps me too gain more knowledge.
Yeah. So we're going to continue to refine our character. Okay? We're not refined yet, but as you know, I see each of you much more refined than me. Okay, I see myself as a young right stock, still trying to stick his head out. I see many of you being much more refined than I am, and I'm very proud to be in the environment. Very proud to be part of the attractor. Okay, very proud to be able to share the material, and yeah, very grateful, very touched by your continuing participation. Okay. And this weekend, Dung, I haven't sent out the poster, but this weekend we're gonna do it 3 days. So on Friday night we'll start around this time instead of 8 a.m. Vietnam, it'll be 9 a.m. Vietnam. We'll do from 9 to mid to 12 a.m. Vietnam, and then we'll do it all night on Saturday and Sunday. It'll be pretty much 3 days. Okay. Not a complete 3 days, but it'll be on Saturday, where we will start at 9 p.m. Vietnam and go all the way to maybe 9 a.m. the next day, something like that. So I will try with the weekend sharing. I will try to bring in more of the advanced stuff. Okay, more advanced stuff. The formula, for example, the formula to overcome all of life's problems. Ooh, how about that one? You like that one? Would you like a formula to overcome all of life's problems? The formula to enrich oneself. Okay, the formula to, I don't know, there's a bunch of other formula. So we'll go over the principles again. We'll make sure that we have the principle as a foundation, right? A mentor is the one who gives moral principle, life principle. We'll go over the basic natural laws of causality, for instance. Okay. And it'll be good. We'll share some keys. We'll share some secret code, passcode. We'll share some ways in which we can unlock life of success. For example, Aquatel is one of the key to unlocking all of those success. Okay, if you want to be successful in any area of life, hold on to the key of appertelling. Appreciate something and then tell other people about it. That's appertelling. And telling other people with the energy of honor and gratitude, or the energy of appreciation, will cause other people to want to be close to you, to want to contribute to whatever you want to do. Anyway, those are some of the things that I will be sharing, which is advanced stuff built upon this foundation of the inner being work. Okay, that'll happen this weekend. So I hope you guys can join us. Okay, so Dung, do you think you will be part of it? Maybe. Okay. You're on mute, but that's okay. Okay, you can join anytime. Okay, great. Yeah, okay. Yeah, so you definitely want to celebrate with your family. Okay, they have been your benefactors. Without them, you would not have achieved. So we can definitely celebrate them on your success. So yeah, definitely spend some time with your family. Okay. Okay, so I know that Jihua, Ron's wife, is going to do a test. So I'm going to see if I can find a link to the Mentor 6 group and join and see what she's about.
Right now I can hear her in her room.
Already? Okay. Let's hop in there. Okay, we'll see you next week. I'm going to turn off the Zoom.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Thanks.
See you
Bye.
weekend. Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody.
Take care. All right.